As the sun set, Lily realized she'd spent the entire day by herself, and maybe she should feel lonely, but she never did. Alone, sure, but not lonely.
I've never had the best expectations of any man.
Blaise Pascal once said that all man's miseries derive from not being able to sit quietly in a room alone. How often have you wanted to do something, but no one else was available, so you don't do it at all? How often did you say yes to something you didn't really want to go to, just because you were afraid of missing out? Now, think of this. How often have you kept someone who hurt you in your life because you were afraid of being alone?
'Cause I'm enough, and you're enough. It's safe to say this much. I like it on this side.
Society wires people to believe that solitude is the enemy, that eating alone makes you a loser, that doing things by yourself is frowned upon. As a child, you're put into your room alone for a timeout as a punishment. After all, humans are a social species. It's what differentiates us from so many other animals. But being alone and being lonely is completely different. Some people might even make you feel more lonely the more that you're around them, because they might not give you the validation, acceptance, or love that you desired from them. It's completely okay to desire those things from others. It doesn't make you any less independent or self-sufficient. Our self-love alone can't replace the need for companionship. So don't isolate yourself for the sake of being alone, but instead be okay with doing things alone. You want to go to a new restaurant but no one is free to go with you? Table for one, please. You want to go to the gym but no one else is available? Put on some headphones and concentrate on working out yourself. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this outfit in the end. Growth happens not only when you're alone or only with a partner or friend. You need both real quality time with yourself and with others. Spend time with people who truly make you happy and make you feel better. Oftentimes, I find myself trying to keep the people who hurt me just because I want them to be in my life, whether that's a friend or a significant other. Kehlani said, "I'd let you hurt me again if it means I get to have you longer."
To reach this place on this side of love. With you on this side of love.
But you have to stop letting people hurt you just because you want them in your life or because you're scared of being alone. People can change. People can leave without any reasons. People can pass away in 1,000 different ways. It sucks, but it's true. The only person you have in the end is yourself.
Looking around, 'cause I'm enough, and you're enough. It's safe to say this much. That I like it on this side of love. Yeah, I like it on this side of love. This side of love. This side of love. This side of love.
It can be awkward, even scary to do things alone. Some people see a young person eating alone at restaurants and think, what's wrong with them? Don't they have any friends? Maybe you even think that about other people yourself. However, there's a long line of research that shows we consistently overestimate how much others actually care about what we do. This is so popular that it even has a name in psychology, the spotlight effect. The psychological phenomenon by which people tend to believe they are being noticed more than they really are.
Running circles, right back.
A 2000 study conducted by Thomas Jelovich found that people regularly adjust their actions to account for the perspective of others, even though their actions effectively go unnoticed. In studies 1 and 2, participants who were asked to don a t-shirt depicting either a flattering or potentially embarrassing image overestimated the number of observers who would be able to recall what was pictured on the shirt. In study 3, participants in a group discussion overestimated how prominent their positive and negative utterances were to their fellow discussants. Like, have you ever said something that you thought was super embarrassing in front of others and it still haunts you to this day? Most likely, no one else even remembers it anymore. Many other researchers have since confirmed the pattern of egocentric thinking that skews how we act. Why do I look like I'm 15 years old? Whatever. Rebecca Hamilton, a professor at Georgetown University, conducted a study where some people went to an art gallery alone and others went with another person. The participant predicted that they'd have a less favorable experience alone, but ended up enjoying it just as much as if they were with another person. Once you've started to realize that no one is really paying attention anyway, your self-consciousness will morph into self-awareness.
Are alive and remind me of you. And I can't go quiet on a Brooklyn bound train, so I stand alone in the Manhattan rain.
You ever think about it sometimes? Found where it all fell apart. I've been losing my mind.
As psychologist Dr. Sherry Borg Carter says, solitude can enhance the quality of your relationships with others. By spending time with yourself and gaining a better understanding of who you are and what you desire in life, you're more likely to make better choices about who you want to be around. With this self-awareness and self-respect, you can create boundaries with others and stand up for yourself.
Yeah, I think I was never in love with you, and hell, most of the time I thought I don't even like you. I know you just weren't right. Yeah, I was in love with someone I wish you were. Loved you, I was close, kept you just a blur. I couldn't face it, but now I do. Truth is, I was never in love with you.
You can also be honest with yourself and realize what your own toxic traits are that may be driving other people away. For example, I saw myself constantly getting jealous of other people. Why can't I have their beautiful face or their gorgeous eyes? Why can't I be as smart as them or as successful? Who wants to be around a bitter and insecure person who only makes excuses for themselves? You can reflect on what your own core values are, how you'd like to improve yourself, and what's truly important to you. Once you're happy with yourself, your relationships will get better because you enter the ones you actually want to be in instead of the ones you feel you need to be in. And let me tell you firsthand, it is way better to be alone than to be around people who make you feel lonely.
I think I was never in love with you, and hell, most of the time I thought I don't even like you. I know you just weren't right. Yeah, I was in love with someone I wish you were. Loved you, I was close, kept you just a blur. I couldn't face it, but now I do. Truth is, I was never in love with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I've been sitting here staring at this page, trying to write an outline for what I wanted to say right now, but I just can't.
I had a dream last night, it was different. It was you and I in faded television. I'm not in love with you. But if I was, here's what I'd do. Here's what I'd do. If I was in love with you, torn up sheets, all the feathers, there's a picket fence.
Level 1. These are things that are more common to do alone. Findings show that if people had to do something productive, it seemed acceptable to be alone. Go to a coffee shop. Go to the gym. Go for a walk or run. Go to a workout/yoga class. Go for a bike ride.
In the afternoon, and I hope that they 2, subliminal love. 4, 3, 2. I had a dream last night, it was different.
Level 2. These are things that are less common to do alone, but they're not very intimidating. Go to the beach, go on a picnic, visit a museum, go to a spa, and go to the movies.
If I was in love with you, got that inside tunnel vision, I'd take you to Hawaii and be a musician. I'd know when to leave.
Level 3. These are things that most people do with others, but you can definitely enjoy them alone. Go to a concert, get a table for one at a restaurant, visit a museum, or even travel somewhere, or go for a staycation.
It was you and I and faded television. I'm not in love with you, but if I was, here's what I'd do. Here's what I'd do. Here's what I'd do. If I was in love with you. This is our little secret, 9-hour cry. Subliminal feelings, I'm scared I'll say too much. And I'm only dreaming, I don't wanna wake up. Subliminal feelings, I'm in love. I had a dream last night, it was different. It was you and I and faded television. I'm not in love with you, but if I was, here's what I'd do.